A community holds a vigil for a woman who's been missing for more than a decade.
And a Madison County deputy is off the job tonight for some questionable Facebook comments. Stay with us.
Now, from West Tennessee's News Channel, this is ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news as Jackson police search for two armed robbers.
It all happened within the last hour. Around 9 o'clock, the clerks at the Family Dollar on Old Hickory Boulevard near Hollywood Drive were robbed at gunpoint. They say two black men wearing all black with masks over their faces forced them at gunpoint to open the store's safe, taking the money from it and the cash drawers. The workers were not hurt. Witnesses say both suspects took off running east on Old Hickory. Call Jackson Police or Crime Stoppers if you can help.
New at 10 in Decatur County tonight, a young mother missing for 12 years is remembered.
Christy Bogus was reported missing October 27th, 1999. Her case is still open, but officers admit they have no leads. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Emily Casulo is just back from Parsons with the story. Emily?
Brad, Kelly, tonight Christy Bogus's friends and family held the first candlelight vigil for her on this sad anniversary. They say it's to raise awareness, not just about Bogus's disappearance, but for others still missing. Even though it's been a long time since Bogus disappeared, her family still has hope. They're asking for anyone with information about her disappearance to contact the Parsons Police Department. Emily Casulo, 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Emily. Tonight, the controversial cross atop Whiteville's water tower is no more. Well, kind of. Mayor James Beller had an arm of the cross removed, an act he believes will keep the Freedom from Religion Foundation at bay. The group threatened to sue because the religious symbol was on city-owned property. Mayor Beller says he knew if they went to court, the city would lose. So after weeks of worrying, he came up with the idea to cut just one arm off the cross.
Hopefully it'll be there 100 years from now, and there'll be a story that people can tell as to what Whiteville, and really the county, this part of Hardeman County, went through.
Residents of Whiteville have proudly been displaying crosses in their yards and outside their businesses. The mayor says it's not so much a protest as an affirmation of their beliefs.
With Halloween right around the corner, the spirits of downtown Jackson are coming alive, according to some locals. This tree right outside the Madison County Courthouse has quite the gruesome story to tell. It dates back to 1886. According to Jackson folklore, a maid accused of murder was hung and shot on this very tree. She maintained her innocence to the very end and possibly even beyond. Some believe when the moon is full and the lights are low, her ghost still haunts downtown and can be heard sounding innocent cries.
Now on Wednesday nights, when the wind's blowing, you can come downtown and you'll hear, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it."
English invites anyone who's curious to come to downtown one night and see if you hear the cries of the murderous maid for yourself.
Boy, that was spooky, wasn't it? Well, we've had a little bit of rain across the area today and still a little light rain showing up over the area tonight. This look outside brought to you by David White Body Shop, the certified professionals. Here's a look at the numbers, high temperature today. I'll have your forecast in a few minutes.
In a follow-up tonight, Union City Police have arrested one of the two men suspected of robbing a convenience store early Tuesday morning. Police have identified this man caught by surveillance camera as 23-year-old Michael Danner. Officers have charged him with aggravated robbery, theft, and tampering with evidence. Investigators have identified the actual gunman as 21-year-old Demetrius Pontiac Shearer. He's wanted on the same charges, in addition to a count of possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. If you know where Shearer is, contact Union City Police.
A Madison County grand jury will now decide if the 18-year-old accused in this month's deadly crime spree should go to trial. Trey Cheney waived his right to a preliminary hearing this morning, allowing his case to advance to the next level. He faces 6 separate charges, including first-degree murder. He remains jailed without bond. Investigators say Cheney fatally wounded his girlfriend, Daphne Kenner, then shot her friend outside a West Jackson apartment complex earlier this month. He's then accused of carjacking a family before finding himself in the middle of a deputy-involved shooting. Also headed to the grand jury, the case of the 27-year-old Fort Campbell soldier, Christopher Kratz. He's charged with aggravated statutory rape and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Police say Kratz admitted to having consensual sex with a 17-year-old female student from Jackson Christian School on 2 separate occasions. His bond was reduced today from $10,000 to $5,000.
Henderson County deputies say one of their inmates went to extreme measures in hopes of escaping. Buddy Dwayne Stewart is accused of faking a stroke so he could be taken to the Henderson County Hospital. While there, investigators say he was able to get away from nurses, but only made it across the street before a Scotts Hill police officer spotted him and arrested him.
He looked and said, "Surely that's not what I think it is." And then he saw the correctional officer running behind him, and he said, "That's exactly what I think it is." So he stopped to help.
Stewart was arrested back in July for allegedly stealing a car. Officers also determined Stewart had been living under a fake identity in Henderson County for years. Stewart now faces an additional charge for attempting escape.
A Madison County deputy is off the job without pay for 2 days, all because of what he wrote on his Facebook page. According to the sheriff, 22-year-old William Wyatt, who works at the penal farm, violated departmental policy by talking about work-related activities on the social media site. Wyatt waived his right to a disciplinary hearing today and accepted his 2-day unpaid suspension. The sheriff says the department is now in the process of drafting a policy directly concerning the use of social media by all employees.
When the officers receive the policy, that they'll have a clear understanding of how they're to use their Facebook page. Again, some of it is personal, as long as they're not using it at work, but when they discuss the work activities, then that's when, in our opinion, they're stepping over the line and they're in violation of that policy.
Deputy Wyatt has been with the Madison County Sheriff's Department since January of last year.
Did foul play have a part in the tragic death of a student inside this school's gym? That answer is next.
Then this former teacher learns her punishment for having sex with several students. Those details in minutes.
Take a look at this. This was the scene many people in the Texas Panhandle woke up to this morning as several inches of snowfall covered much of the area. In Amarillo, some people reported getting up to 3 inches of snow. Officials say there were some down power lines in the area because of the heavy snowfall. However, the snow was short-lived. Rising temperatures melted most of it away rather quickly.
Now, Storm Team weather with Chief Forecaster Gary Pickens.
That is what you call perfect snow. It gets here in the morning, and by noon, it's all melted away. Well, no snow for us, but we've seen kind of a gray, messy, rainy type day today, and we've got that type of night tonight. Here's a look at Fast Track 7, showing some of the light rain still showing up over the area. And that is a look at your weather. Back to you.
Thank you, Gary. The mother of a middle school student here says she's appalled by the district's reaction to late-night texts from a teacher to her young daughter. Those details next. Michigan authorities say the death of a Williamston High School student was all a tragic accident. Witnesses say the student was doing pull-ups on a wall in the school's gym when the entire wall came crashing down on top of him. Emergency crews were called to help the boy, but he had a heart attack before they could get him to the hospital. Investigators say at this point, no foul play was involved. The bold and questionable actions of one Texas middle school teacher has forced school leaders to put him on administrative leave.
The man is accused of sending racy text and Facebook messages to a 13-year-old student, sometimes in the middle of the night. Reporter Kevin Quinn has the story. That was Kevin Quinn reporting. A former Ohio gym teacher discovered she'll spend 4 years in prison for having sex with teenage boys at her home. 33-year-old Stacy Schuler was convicted on charges of sexual battery for having sex with 5 high school students last year. Schuler pleaded not guilty by reasons of insanity. Her lawyers argued she had medical and psychological issues and didn't remember the incident. Schuler resigned in February after charges were filed.
The office of Ohio Governor John Kasich says the State Department of Agriculture has ordered 6 exotic animals to be quarantined. That's instead of transferring them from a zoo to a woman whose suicidal husband freed them. The Columbus Zoo and Aquarium says Marion Thompson had planned to reclaim 3 leopards, 2 primates, and a young grizzly bear that had been cared for by the zoo since last week. Terry Thompson mysteriously freed the animals and dozens of others last week before killing himself. Authorities had to hunt down and kill many of the animals.
Lexington leaders lay out where liquor stores can do business in their city. Find out what they've decided coming up next.
Lexington leaders are hammering out the rules of where liquor stores can set up shop in the city. Just last month, voters approved package stores. Yesterday, the Board of Aldermen voted for no limit in the number of liquor stores in the city. However, they did vote that they must be at least 500 feet from any school or church, and any owner must have lived in Henderson County for at least a year. We're told several people in the community are already considering opening up a liquor store.
It keeps it within the county. You see Jackson, they have them, Madison County, they have them all over, well, not all over the county, but, various ones. It's keeping that revenue in that county. When they make that sale, that's money that goes in that county. Same here. When they make the sale, the money stays here.
Everything voted on Tuesday is still tentative. It still must pass the second time at next month's meeting.
This Saturday, Occupy Jackson will organize in downtown Jackson. The group is set to gather in the farmers market starting at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. UT Martin student Heather Mummert is organizing the effort. She tells us she expects at least 35 people to join her this weekend. She told us the rally is being held to let government, big business, corporations, and banks know it's not right what they're doing.
We intend for this to go on as long as possible, as long as the movement is staying active. We basically are just trying to show our solidarity with the whole movement that's across the country as well as across the world.
Mummert says this will be a peaceful rally.
Next in sports, must-win situations for the St. Louis Cardinals, the Dresden football team, and the TCA Lady Lion volleyball team. Sports is next.
Gary's back. Look at our forecast with some rain falling tonight, beginning to chill things down across West Tennessee.
Yeah, rain falling, and so are the temperatures.
Yes, indeed they are. Rather cold for tomorrow night if you're going to the Friday night football games. Let's look at the rain that we have right now. Still some light rain showing up over the area. That should be tapering off, at least for a while. We'll see periods of rain throughout the night. Here's our forecast for the next 7 days. Kind of chilly tomorrow. 58 will be our high. We'll start out with some rain, I think, tomorrow morning, then partly sun in the afternoon. Frost tomorrow night. It also looks like frost on Saturday, but warming up for the weekend and for Halloween, up to 65, the low of 35, so not bad for trick-or-treating. And then we'll see those temperatures stay in the 60s for the rest of the forecast period. Overnight lows 30s and 40s. Maybe some more rain on Wednesday of next week. So not a bad forecast. It's just going to be a little cool right before the weekend.
All right. Thanks, Gary.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Nightline is coming up.
Have a good night.